Holy shit. It's like hips, low back. A lot of times when you're doing stuff, it just requires so much grip that it can compromise other things that you might want to do in a workout. And I got the sand bucket out here. The sand got real wet. Trying to fucking dry it out, it's been actually hard. I probably need to like spread it out to get it to dry. Maybe just mix it up. But speaking of grip, get some good grip training in right here. And inadvertently too, being bent like this, bent over in this position, you're working that lower back too. The lower back is like a repetition muscle. It needs a lot of reps. Your fingers need a lot of reps too. But the low back gets conditioned by a lot of repetitions. So when you're in this position, taking stuff out of your dryer position, this is when the lower back can get taxed. But if you train it, just like you can train anything else, you can also do a lot of this. That extensor doesn't get trained. You can see how pathetic it is. It's like I'm in the same spot the whole time. Oh, I got there. All right, fill it back up. Do the same thing on the other side. Wasn't planning on doing this at all today. It just kind of came to me. I took a few weeks away from barbell benching. Shoulder was a little disturbed. But now it's feeling pretty good. Get a good stretch. Remember the old typewriter benching? The old kayak move here. Just a little info about, losing muscle mass. Well, the slingshot's still tight. So not a lot's fallen off the forearms yet. If it's going to happen at all. This is the reactive slingshot. This is the one that's recommended for everybody. Simple to use, slide it up, it's ready to go. What is it for? The slingshot is a supportive upper body device for bench press, push-ups, dips. Allows you to handle more weight. The more weight and more volume and the more reps that you can handle, the faster that you'll get stronger. It also is great for people that need the support, people that have damaged shoulders, damaged elbows, people with tennis elbow, people with golfer's elbow, people with rotator cuff, slap tears, you name it, the different shit that people have. It's going to help you to still be able to bench press and still have good productivity even while being injured. You guys have probably seen this stuff before. There's liquid chalk. Whoops, I got way too much of it. Jesus, it's just coming out of there like crazy now. It's all stuck in there. Liquid chalk. It's just basically chalk and alcohol mixed together. Kind of a genius idea. But throw some of that on there in case I want to do the stones later too. I'll also chuck it on there. Once it dries, it turns into chalk. Kind of amazing. See how it's starting to dry? Takes a second. It just doesn't leave chalk all over the place, which is kind of cool. Because chalk gets in every little nook and cranny of your entire gym. I'll do one more set of this before I do a bunch of shit in between. Try to figure out exactly how I want to do this workout for today. We'll do a weighted carry in between that. So we got pull-ups, weighted carry, bench press. That's part of the workout. Right when you get to this part, a little bit of fatigue wants to settle in, but you close the doors on it, you force it back out, you work your way through it. A lot of info out there on sugar fasting, but some of the people that are talking about sugar fasting don't talk that much about the workouts. And the workouts are big drivers. It only makes up a small percentage of your calorie burn every day, but over time, gaining that muscle mass will be a contributing factor as well. If you can end up with 150 or 170 or 180 pounds of muscle, that's a lot of muscle. It's going to help chew up a lot of calories. It's going to be more places where you can store glucose. And don't forget the legs. People neglect the legs. They don't train their legs very hard. So make sure you're training your calves, hammies. Make sure you're training it all, so you have more places to store that glycogen. They always say that motivation is fleeting. That's why I suggest you get a nice dose of it every single day. Motivate your fucking self. Start getting yourself in motion. Object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? £206 this morning. Once a fat little pig, 330 pounds. Now going to Shred City. And maybe even to Skeleton City. You need ranges in your life. Ranges on being able to handle your emotions, being able to handle crisis, being able to handle some times that you might be interpreting as bad, and also being able to flow really well with the good. Your workouts are the same way. Elevated heart rate's through the roof. How do you deal with it? Find a way to keep pushing forward and make yourself more resilient over time so you can do more and be more. The more that you can do, the more that you can handle. There is no limit on what you can learn and know. It's infinite. There's no limit on what you can learn, know, and do. You ask the busiest person in the world, could they do more? They'll actually already probably be telling you about how much more they can do without you even asking that question. Those of you doing sugar fast, make sure you're getting in your food. And also, I think training is an important piece. I mean, you can do this diet and be a couch potato. But I think you'll be compelled. You'll want to move more. So even if you're not doing this kind of training, just set a timer every day and do some sort of exercise. Maybe work on doing 10 minutes of it, 15 minutes of it. Push-ups, squats, lunges, put it on repeat. If you have some dumbbells, maybe some curls or something in between, overhead presses. Pick 2 or 3 exercises at a time, go back and forth on them for 12 minutes. It could be curls and squats onto a bench or chair. Simple. Next exercise, overhead press and lunges. Superset that for 5 minutes straight. You're toast. That's good. Good exercise for the day. Over time, you'll be able to do more. Over time, you'll be able to handle more. But I think your energy out is important on this diet. Your energy out is going to be increased anyway. Your NEAT is going to be increased because what you're asking the metabolism to do. Like I said, this is a freakish way to diet. No one's really ever thought of this before. Having a lot of extra energy while cutting down is pretty novel. I know there's reverse dieting and there's a couple things. Look, I understand a lot of stuff about fitness and training and nutrition. I know that this can also be a honeymoon period for some people, but there's people who've done this diet many different ways and done it for months on end, and it will peel body fat off you continuously. I do think there's good reason to disrupt it and interfere with it a little bit by having little breaks from it, but utilizing it as a fasting strategy. And for the fatter that you are, the more, you might want to do 5 sugar fasts for every day off or whatever, or maybe 3 or 4. And if you're leaner and you just want to, lose a little, maybe you just use it to get to that desired weight and then you end it there. But maybe it takes you 20 days. Another way to do it is to go through a whole month and to just pick out maybe 8 days that you sugar fast. And maybe it takes a month or 2 to get there. And on the other days, you're doing a different style of diet or you're still trying to follow some sort of protocol. I would suggest on your quote unquote off days that you stay like under 50 grams of fat is where I would take it. Your hormones and stuff like that, they're not going to tank. They won't tank. Everybody keeps saying that. That happens to bodybuilders because they have no more fat to pull from their body. You can envision this. Your love handles, where you have some chub, that is a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay? Your dietary fat and the fat that you're burning off your body are similar. They're similar. And there's nutrients in that fat that you burn off of your body. It just happens to be stored. It's been stored there for a while. You're also going to be getting some detoxification benefits by getting rid of that fat because it has like phytoestrogens and all kinds of other crap associated with it. So you're going to be getting some of the benefits of the nutrients, and you're also going to be, getting rid of some bullshit toxins that you may have from plastics and so forth. So the world's greatest detox is to lose weight, lose fat. You're not going to lose muscle. Body's going to be muscles, tissue, and liver and bloodstream are all full of glycogen. So, just come to me. Like if you have evidence that you've seen that happen, then shoot it over to me. I'd love to look at it. I'd love to have a conversation about it. Maybe I'll have you on my podcast to talk about it very openly, because I don't think it's impossible, but it doesn't make any sense for your body to break down muscle tissue when it's supplied with plenty of glycogen, and when it's also glucose, when it's also not in a huge caloric deficit. So I'm not going to debate on whether you're in a caloric deficit or not, but what I'm saying is you don't feel like you're in a caloric deficit. If I was bodybuilding, if I was on a bodybuilding diet right now, that workout would have been so hard to do. If I was in the last month of prep, that would be insane to have done that workout. I just doubt I could even do it. And if I did it, my watts and my RPMs and my force production would all be decreased. I would have missed out on some reps and so forth. I'm pretty sure of that. Bodybuilders also end up with a lot of endocrine disruption of their hormones because they're doing excessive amounts of cardio, okay? I'm doing some cardio, but I'm not doing cardio like a bodybuilder. I'm not doing 90 minutes a day, steady state, specifically to like hammer down on the fat, right? They also are in a massive caloric deficit, which you're not asked to do when you're doing a sugar fast. They're also lifting like a lot, 4 or 5 days a week, trying to lift. They're trying to pose. Lastly, we can never forget this, and this is where we always have to tip our hats to bodybuilders. No one gets leaner than a bodybuilder. Nobody even comes close. As lean as I am right now, I'm not like ready to be like on a stage now, right now. I'm probably maybe 25% there, or maybe only maybe even only halfway there. I might have to cut my body fat. I don't know what body fat is, but like it might have to almost be cut in half. That's how lean a bodybuilder is. So we always tip our hat to them. They're pretty fucking crazy with the shape that they can get in. And because of that, though, they don't have much fat to pull off their body any longer. And so they're going to feel super fatigued from that. This is unrelated to that. This has been the people that report having huge crashes in their hormones. The other people that have huge crashes in their hormones are usually women. And women are they're restricted. They're restricting their calories way too much. Some guys do it too. Some guys are guilty of this too. But a lot of women are just really restricting their calories way too much. And that's going to make you feel like shit. Again, you're not asked to do that on this plan. And in fact, whatever someone thinks their metabolic rate is, if they want to calculate that and mess with any of that, which seems like everybody does want to mess with that and everyone wants to know, just eat an additional 500 to 800 calories over that. Start there. All that's going to happen is you're going to lose weight faster probably. That's what I'm seeing so far from this diet. Not for myself, but for the people that I'm helping. I don't call anybody clients. I don't have any clients. I don't take on any clients. But if you message me and you break through on my Instagram, I will hit you back. Please do not send me a ton of text. I do not like to read. So if you could, maybe just like a little note about what your situation is, less than a paragraph, and then just start recording. Start recording some voice notes. Send me, pepper me with 3, 4, 5 of those, and I will get back to you the best I can. I'm trying to get back to everybody. I'm trying to answer stuff on YouTube. I'm answering shit on Instagram, on my Instagram posts, and I'm also answering shit on live stuff. I mean, I'm just answering stuff everywhere. My DMs on Instagram, everywhere and anywhere that I can. Whoa. That'd be tough doing those back and forth. Just a little side note, if you have like a little owie, you got something that hurts, but you're still trying to get a training stimulus from it. Like, let's just say that you have a little bit of like patella tendonitis or something, your knee's bugging you. Do a bunch of high squats, body weight. Really sit way back so you don't use the knees hardly at all. Opposite of knees over toes, kind of. You're way back here. This is just for a specific training effect. Not that the knees over toes stuff is bad by any means. Get way back here. Sit way back. 10, 15, 20, 25 reps. You can hold a weight, kettlebell, and then boom, you go right to the leg extension. But I found that like sometimes when people have an issue with the leg extension, it like fries their knee, that if they do an exercise going into it, pre-exhaust, pre-fatigue, they can kind of override that pain that's sitting right there, and then they feel their quads more. So something you can give a try to. And same thing with this, like my shoulder is a little weird, pre-fatiguing with this movement here, the fly, but then still getting a lot of stimulus on the chest with heavier weight on the bench press machine. You getting all these fibers, Ryan? Look at this. Ugh. Is that a potato? Or is that 4K? Are you picking up all these lines over there? I'm excited to get a waist. You can see like I pretty much go straight down. I mean, if I flex my lats out, like I got some lats and I can have a bit of a V taper when I flex. But yeah, from like here down, I'm pretty, got this box shape and I want to build a triangle. I think I'm doing it by starting to chomp out some of this fat here that I had before. And you're going to notice that's going to come in more and more. This guy right here, there's way so much less. We got video of me grabbing this chub here. And yeah, if I lean into it, I can maybe still get more. But relatively speaking, it's gone. But I don't even want it gone. I want it fucking indented. I want it to look like a bunch of piranhas got to my lower back and chewed out and spit out all the fat. Just have it be, completely diced, completely sliced. That's what the goals are. All right, we're trying to get some calories on here. Just repeatable calories. I don't really care that much about like what the actual calorie count is. But once I set it, then I'm going to try to keep it set for all the sets. In between, I'm going to do an overhead press. There's a chance that might change, and I might change that to like a farmer's carry or something, but we'll see. All right, we're doing 20 calories. Six reps, here we go. Two. Up. 4. 5. Do just a max set farmers. I've always loved to train all day. Just going to meathead, but my ability and capacity to train all day, I've just been going fucking nuts lately. So I'm excited because there's going to be so many new adaptations to come. And even with all the work I did today, all the way from the sandbags in the beginning to the sand bucket grip stuff I was doing, all the way to the couple of circuits you've seen me do, the Metcon of bench press, pull up, weighted walk, another Metcon, 4 rounds. I did 6 rounds of the bench press, the pull-ups, and the weighted walk. And I did 4 rounds of the bike mixed with the overhead press. And even after all that, I feel like why not finish with something strong still? So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk these 75-pound grip bells. I could just walk them around the gym, and if I could get 4 laps, that'd be really nice. 4 laps would be really good. Let's just see where it takes me, and we can maybe even look at maybe put me on a timer when you video this. See how long I get. I'll just try to wait. Oh, I can't see it. I get closer to it. Lap number 1, 150 pounds total, 75 per hand. Whoop. I made 3. That's pretty good. Oh, that got my nervous system. My body's shaking like crazy. Holy shit. I'm still gonna get an extra rep. Well, my hands are wet now. Gonna have to get to this a little bit more later today, but that was really good work on it. Just kind of keep that David Goggins saying in your mind of like he thinks a lot of times people are like 60% there. You can remember that when you're in the middle of something and you're doing something that's hard, and you can say to yourself like, this is hard, this is difficult. And when you're in that moment, you could say, hey, look, I just got another 40% to go. And it might help you to kind of stick with it and to finish out. Anyway, I'm going to eat, and I'm off the sugar diet from here till the rest of the day, which will be really nice, and I'll be back into that sugar fast tomorrow. You're going to get a close look at what it looks like on my day off. It's just Smelly style, and it's just a bodybuilding style diet. Fats are going to be low, under 50 for the day. Maybe they'll creep to 60, I don't know, but they're going to be under 50 is the goal. Not counting carbs, not really counting protein, but gonna eat protein since I'm not eating any protein every time I sugar fast, and neither should you. Because again, a sugar fast is no starch, no fat, no protein. It's only the following foods. And if you're not only eating these foods, then you're doing something different than a sugar fast. Fruit juice, honey, sugar, candy, maple syrup. I suppose you can have some vegetables too. Vegetables can be a great way to help you control your blood sugar a little bit if for some reason you're getting kind of knocked around by blood sugar shifts. Maybe a little bit of vegetables with a smoothie or vegetables before a smoothie. Something like that might be really helpful. Even something like cucumbers, which is actually a fruit, or pickles might be a good option, whatever your favorite vegetables are. That's been helpful for me. And another thing that's helpful tip is, like, I want you to get after it. I want you to eat a lot of food, but go low and slow a little bit in the beginning. Like, don't just jump into having like 350 grams of sugar out of nowhere. Probably not a good idea, right? We know that the body adapts to stuff really well, but it doesn't like just being like thrown this like huge amount of guesswork pretty much out of nowhere. So let's have some grace for our body and make sure our body has a little bit of time to adapt to this diet. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.